With tonight's win, the hashtag that you've seen, and as you just heard fans say, Bucks in 6 is still alive. They'll be back here for Game 4 on Wednesday. The mobile home park has had flooding issues in past years, but residents who have lived here for more than 10 years say they have never seen it this bad. The defense spent some time today questioning the prosecution's witnesses, pointing out that it had been decades since the victims were killed. They believe the suspect may be in the Green Bay area. The investigation is ongoing, and the suspect is still on the run. This change is something that Green Bay police have wanted since 2011, when a study showed how much time officers spend on investigating gas drive-off incidents. The Mobile Cultural Center is expected to have an annual economic impact of more than $3 million, bringing in an estimated 100,000 visitors a year once it opens in 2023. Students were able to climb the steps in this gear to gain an appreciation of the weight and heat factors that are involved in a firefighter's day of work. Some of the animals up for adoption at the second annual Rescue Roundup are birds, dogs, fish, snakes, and plenty more. Aid has yet to reach some of the hardest hit areas, and the country's lack of infrastructure means supplies aren't getting through to the thousands left homeless. Lamers Bus Lines Fox Cities needs 11 route drivers and 45 charter drivers to fill the driver's seat right here before the school year begins. Right now, officials say they have about 134 drivers. Each year, the Brown County Health Team screens over 5,000 students, and every year, more than 1,200 students are referred for a vision exam, who most likely need prescription glasses after failing the vision screening.
There's not very many times that you see somebody, especially my age, even getting into one, much less actually doing the flying.
90-year-old Vietnam combat pilot Clyde Bridger flew a T-33 fighter jet over the Oconto Elks' 13th annual fly-in event to celebrate the Oconto J. Douglas Bake Airport's 75th anniversary. Clyde has continued to fly with his civilian license, but Saturday morning was the first time he was able to fly a jet again, the same kind he used to fly 65 years ago.
It's like a bicycle. You never forget how, so I'm anticipating that I won't have a problem. That's why I got a safety pilot in the back.
The safety pilot and the plane's owner, Steve Jones, hopped in the cockpit with Clyde at Executive Air in the Austin Straubel International Airport and took off for their flyover.
I'm going to think I've got the world at my feet again.
Clyde put on a show, performing a 360 overhead approach and a touch-and-go landing.
Raise the hair on the back of your neck to know that a 90-year-old gentleman as Clyde, who happens to be in fantastic shape, did an awesome job. It was just awesome, and he's a hometown boy on top of it.
I graduated from Oconto High School on the 30th of May, and 3 days later I'm in the Air Force down in San Antonio. Spent over 20 years there. Wow. Retired in 1969. Came back up here and have been here ever since.
Attendees had the opportunity to see a variety of historic military and other aircrafts up close at the event. It also featured other flyovers like Clyde's, craft and food vendors, 60 planes of all sizes, a car show with almost 300 classic cars, antique tractors, and plenty of activities.
People are going to be talking about this probably until next year's event.
I was able to get an inside look above ground on one of the planes, riding around on a 4-seater plane from the Blue Sky Aviation Club in Pulaski. The private pilot flying, Mike Urban, flew the T-33 fighter jet 3 years ago during EAA in Oshkosh.
The speed was much greater. The power going down the runway was fantastic. It's a thing that you're flying in front of a crowd of people and everybody's waving as you're taxiing down the taxiway.
After the flyover, Clyde joined his fellow community members who cheered him on, admiring what he did.
It was fantastic, just like old times.
And he's already started making plans for when he can fly it again.
Now we get to go through menopause together.
Adopted at a young age, Jill Heitman now lives in Marinette. She used a 23andMe DNA kit to track down her half-sister, Jamie Lang, who she found out about through undisclosed medical records.
And I just kind of went, I have an older sister.
As it turns out, the two sent their DNA kits in at almost the exact same time earlier this year.
I had bought 23andMe myself on a Black Friday sale, just like on a whim. I had never even wanted to do it. And I had mine sent in like I think I sent it in the day after Christmas.
Right after Christmas, I bought mine because I asked for one for Christmas and I didn't get one. It was literally 5-6 weeks after I bought it and sent it in that we connected.
Not only did Jill have one new half-sister in her life, but she quickly found out that she had two other half-sisters as well.
The strangest thing I was thinking of was I grew up my whole life in Green Bay. And they grew up originally in New London. And we were so close to each other, but we never ran into each other.
This August, Jill flew to meet Jamie in Alaska, where she lives, including their two other sisters and her birth mother.
It was fantastic. It was a great meeting. I was so excited to meet everybody.
In less than a year, the two sisters and their families have become very close.
We have a group text that all of us are in that we chat usually every day.
We'll say the exact same things at the same time.
We're definitely all alike. It's really weird. Even without growing up together, there's just something in the genetics.
While Jill and Jamie have spent most of their lives separated, they urge anyone who might be going through something similar to reach out because you never know what can come from it.